Hello, I'm a lads, I'm a gents, I'm a kingdom people. It's a girl, Kudzi Rose, and today I'm coming to you with one of the most profound miracles that I experienced this morning. And, I've always heard Apostle Joshua Selman from Nigeria, Koinonia Global, talk about how if you think everyone who's going to help you is someone that you know, then be prepared to live a life of defeat. And I was like, amen, I believe a total stranger will help me. I believe it can happen. But it has always been so distant, seeing that it would be spoken by someone who is not close to me in terms of distance. And so today was the day that miracle, that example was actualized. I was not the recipient of this miracle, but I participated in the receiving of it to the end user of the miracle. I was in bed this morning and I woke up, and this is something that I don't do, but for some reason I started scrolling on Facebook. Usually my routine is that I wake up, I read the Bible, I pray, and then I go about with my day, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, but it always comes after prayer. But I woke up and I was feeling a bit lazy. I went on Facebook, and as I was scrolling, I came across a story of a guy that was in hospital with the just deceased Maraba. May his soul rest in peace. And he was talking about how they'd become so close, how no one was coming to see him at the hospital, how no one was bringing him food, no one could afford his medication. And it touched me so much, and I felt moved, and I felt in my spirit that I should at least help someone. And so I woke up and went to Mvuru Hospital. I thought maybe I can find 2 or 3 people that are in that situation that I can actually cook for and share a laugh and then pray, and I go my merry way. And so when I got to Mvuru, I think I got there around 7:30 a.m. That's how strongly convicted I was. I got there 7:30 a.m. I asked the sisters and the administration that were there, and they said there was only one girl who gave birth about 2 weeks ago, and there was no relative or husband that was coming to visit her. And so in my mind, I'm here for someone who's sick, someone who is exactly in Maraba's situation. And so they said, well, in any case, currently there is no one, but in any case, the help that you will need is from the morning staff, and we are the night staff. And so just wait outside and wait for the new crew to come in. Then they can help you, because when you come back around lunchtime, they're the ones that you need to see. Then I said, okay. And as I was waiting outside, it hit me. The new crew is not going to tell me anything new. They're just still going to refer me to this girl. Let's call her Fortune. They're still going to refer me to Fortune. And in any case, Fortune is in the position that I was sent to give help to. And that's someone who doesn't have relatives, someone who needs help with food and financially, because I then asked why she is in the hospital since she gave birth, and they said for her to be discharged she needed $35 for the services rendered to her. And then I thought to myself, this girl has been in hospital with a newborn baby for the past 2 weeks just because she doesn't have $35. And I said, no, it's okay, let me talk to Fortune. And then we went in, we spoke. She's a 19-year-old girl. The husband is a handyman, and he just has a boil on his hand. So that means he can't do much work, and so he can't raise the $35. And I asked about the parents, and she said the mom was really angry with her for the choice of men that she took. And so she was like, deal with your husband there, you chose this. And then I thought to myself, wow. It was one of the most emotional times for me, and I couldn't help but cry, because I thought to myself, I was restless at home because I needed to help someone who needed relatives, who needed a financial aid. And then I come and there's this one girl that really needed my help. And I thought to myself, it's okay, let me pay for the $35. And I'm not sharing this to brag or to show how holier than thou I am, But this scenario, this miracle, which it is, spoke to me. Because for the first time, I understood what Job meant in Job 42 verse 5, where he said, I have only heard of you with my ears, but now I have seen you with my eyes. And that is exactly what happened to me. I said, I have seen you, Jesus. You truly have risen. I have seen you. I've seen your power. You know, in Esther, we have the king being restless, and then he opens the book of remembrance, where he then asks, there is a Mordecai who was a whistleblower on an assassination attempt, and what was done for him. And there and there, when he was supposed to meet his death through Haman, he then met his exaltation through the king, who was made restless until everything was done good for Mordecai. And this is exactly what happened. Where the king is made, we've only heard about it in the Bible, where the king is made restless until something happens, until Joseph is taken out of prison, or until such and such is done for someone. But today I experienced it, where I was made restless until I could help that one person in Vuru Hospital that needed just $35. And so I went in, I took my money, I prayed, I dedicated it to God, and I said, Lord, that your name be glorified. Jesus Christ be seen by this gesture that I've just done. And so I went, I paid. She only stays about 3 kilometers away from the hospital. So I then drove her home, picked a few stuff, things like Mazoe orange crush, a few fruits, because she's breastfeeding and stuff like that. And then I dropped her, and then I went my merry way, and I left her there. She only know me as Kudzi, and I only know her as Fortu. And then our lives go on. And I thought, don't we all want this? Truly, I have seen Jesus Christ at work. Truly, I've seen a miracle. Now, I don't know how much it means to her, but it means everything to me, because I've only heard about it as stories. And then Jesus Christ can do this. He can just send someone can just come and say, let me do this for you. Most of the help that I've gotten has been from the people that I know. I can acknowledge that most of the farming that I did with the tobacco was from the help that I got from a stranger. It's just that we then got to know each other. We then got to be acquainted with each other. So you start to feel like, oh, it's someone that you know. But in the beginning, it was someone that I didn't know. The only difference is I was truly, truly a stranger to this girl, because she doesn't have my phone number. She doesn't know where I stay. And I was just a random stranger with an act of kindness who just helped and then went our merry way. And I was like, wow. This you, Jesus? This you, God? Wow. A total stranger who just comes and says, now I'm your relatives. No one is coming to see you. Now I'm your relative. And then they get you out of the deep end that you're in. And then life goes on. And they say, Lord, I thank you. I thank you that I've seen you today. So to anyone who is praying out there, who thinks their situation is dire, just continue praying. God will truly send someone that you don't know, and that you only know for that particular issue. And they go their way and you go your way. And they say, Lord, oh, you're still doing miracles. He's still doing miracles. So, lads and gents, toodles.